Welcome back to another episode, guys, of our Fallout 4 Let's Play. In our last episode, we got to the Corvega assembly plant, which is a raider gang hideout that has been giving Tenpines Bluff some grief and trouble. As I was trying to do my outro, Dogmeat thought that he was going to be a one-man army and thought that he was going to take them all out. So just behind this wall that we're aimed at is a turret and Dogmeat, who is down.
Bruh.
So we're going to go ahead and dispatch these guys so we can help out Tenpines Bluff and hope that we don't get smoked in the process. I thought there was another one. Maybe there's not. Whoa.
Surprise, mother...
Language! Dogmeat. I really thought there was going to be another person here. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Who's shooting me? There you are. Whoa. See if I can make that shot. I guess not.
Everybody at school thinks I'm a freaking idiot because of you.
What?
Freaking idiot.
Nice. Where are you?
What?
Dogmeat, I'm aware that there are bad people here. I think everybody is aware now that we're here too.
I said, hold up, wait a minute.
Gotcha! But wait, there's more!
I'm a freaking idiot.
Ooh.
These guys really thought they were gonna... Oh, what? Where are you, bro? Ooh, razor grain we can plant. So we're definitely gonna take that. Where's the other guy? There you are.
Someone's out there!
I guess we can take that and that. Surely these guys had a stash of something. Yeah, there we go. Take that bottle cap mine.
Keep your eyes open!
I hear these guys. They're in the other room, of course. Alright, cool.
Come on out. I'll make it nice and quick. You can trust me.
Can I, though? Can I?
Oh, I know you're here. I'll fight.
We don't.
Surprise,
Oh,
mother... Language!
Nice. Wow. That guy came up here with the full cue. Oh my goodness. That's great. Boom!
Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Nope. Let's just,
Bruh. What?
Oh, that's not what I meant to do.
What the... Language!
Are you sure about that?
Everybody at school thinks I'm a freaking
Dog
idiot because of you.
move. almost just had a really hard time here. Dog meat definitely likes to be in the way.
What?
Nice.
I see you. Got him. Line him up, knock him down.
Who?
Got him.
Are you sure about that?
Don't you die on me!
Wow.
Whoa.
Bruh.
It's gonna weigh us down.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
There we are.
Bruh.
Is there any loot in here? There's a baseball bat, so I guess, sort of. Oh, there's gonna be a ton of guys out here. I totally forgot. Come here, bud.
Wait, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
No!
Everybody at school thinks I'm a freaking idiot because of you.
Round 2.
Alright,
Fight.
let's immediately take high ground over here. Take the offense, I guess, is gonna be my best bet. We have terminals here. Spotlight control. We'll go and deactivate y'all. So, spotlights, in case there are new players, spotlights don't necessarily just produce light. They actually do increase the perception and accuracy stat of enemies. So while you have the ability to utilize VATS, enemies in game, since this is still a RPG at the end of the day, enemies do have an accuracy stat, so when they're engaging you in combat, they do, technically speaking, also have their RNG, random number generator, that rolls for whether it's going to hit you or not. So something to keep in mind as you're finding spotlight controls is to deactivate those so that your enemies have less accuracy and also less ability to just outright see you. Especially if you're like a sneak heavy build or something like that, it's going to be super important for you.
Hey.
No, dog mate. You're good. Thank you, sir. So here we have our repair bobblehead, which is the first of many bobbleheads we will find. Now fusion cores will permanently last 10% longer. We're going to take it. We always take our bobbleheads. Bobbleheads do still, just like in every other game, give us a permanent buff throughout my entire playthrough, or your entire playthrough, obviously, in this case. So you always want to find those, you always want to take them. They are set spawns every time you play through, so you don't have to worry about randomly finding them or anything like that. So if you come to Corvega for the first time, it will always be up in that little perch up there. You don't have to worry about it not being there. If it's not there, it means that you have taken it, you have found it, and you do have that buff. And if I'm not mistaken, we can actually go to... Nope. I could have sworn we could do that. Maybe under data... No, I guess I am just a filthy little liar, and you guys should not even watch me. Obviously, I'm just a liar. If I'm going to lie to you guys like that, don't watch. No, I'm just kidding. I hope you do stick around. But I could have sworn there was a way that you could check in your Pip-Boy to see those, but I guess not. As long as it's in your inventory, of course, unless you're storing it somewhere in a settlement, which, you know, kudos for you if you enjoy building just as much as I do, because I definitely love that. We're going to find our way safely back down. Nothing? Language, sir. I believe there was still one up there. I'm not going to worry about grabbing that. We're going to go back to our map, and we're going to go back up to Tenpines Bluff so we can turn this quest in and let them know that they no longer have to deal with the raiders at Corvega. How the raiders at Corvega were giving them trouble from all the way down south like that, I don't know. But they were. And now we're going to let them know they don't have to worry about that any longer. Boom.
You find those raiders?
I don't know, did I?
I took care of those raiders for you.
No kidding? That's the best piece of news we've had around here for a good long time. So we've been talking. We decided if you came through for us, we'd join up with the Minutemen again. If we want things to get better, we've got to start helping each other. So, we're in. You can count on us if you need help down the line. Thanks again, Fred.
Why aren't you looking me in the eye when you tell me that then, huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. You better keep walking. Alright. Now, we're going to head back to Sanctuary to talk to Preston. Preston's almost always going to be in Sanctuary until you get to the point where he can actually be your follower if you choose him to be. I don't know why you would do that, but if you did, for whatever reason, choose him to be your follower,
Do you have a moment?
he will always be here in Sanctuary.
For helping us out in Concord.
That all of our friends are safe.
You know that settlement you sent me to help? They've decided to join the Minutemen.
That's great news. I knew you were the right person for the job. By the way, you should have one of these flare guns. You can use it to signal for help from any nearby Minutemen. Not much use yet, but once we have more allied settlements, you'll have help whenever you need it. I guess you know I'm one of the last of the Minutemen. But I never really...
Oh, I accidentally clicked. He was about to ask if we wanted to know what happened to Lexington. So yes, we're definitely going to want to hear that.
I figured you'd tell me when you were ready.
Have you heard of the Quincy Massacre?
Sorry, Quincy, not Lexington.
What was it?
I thought everyone in the Commonwealth knew about that by now. Where the Minutemen betrayed each other and the people they were supposed to protect. I was with Colonel Hollis's group. A mercenary group called the Gunners was attacking Quincy. The people there called for the Minutemen to help. We were the only ones that came. The other groups, they just turned their backs on us and the folks in Quincy. Only a few of us got out alive. Colonel Hollis was dead, so I ended up in charge of the survivors. We never found a safe place to settle. One disaster after another. You saw how it ended in Concord.
I know how it feels to be the last survivor.
Yeah, I guess you do. That's why I'm talking to you. I can't rebuild the Minutemen, but I think you can.
Ooh.
Why can't you lead the Minutemen?
That's not who I am. I can get my men through a firefight. I can defend a perimeter against all odds. But that's not going to be enough to bring the Minutemen back from the brink. We need someone who can bring the whole Commonwealth together in a common cause. And I think you've got it in you to be that leader.
Why us?
What makes you think I can do this?
You saved us and conquered. There wasn't anything in it for you. You had your own problems to deal with, but you did it anyway. That kind of selflessness has been in mighty short supply around here for quite a while.
Alright, I guess we will rebuild the Minutemen. This is not a decision that's going to lock you in permanently, just so you guys know. You can still do the quests for other factions that you'll meet in the game. This particular one is not going to lock you into it. What this does is it does create a better relationship with Preston Garvey. It also helps you get more side quests that you can do to continue leveling up, but by no means does this lock you into the decision to only choose to side with the Minutemen. You still have plenty of time to make those choices, especially since we haven't really met anybody else from other factions right now. So don't be scared to say yes or no. Of course, Preston Garvey won't really like it if you say no, but choose how you choose to play the game. I can't tell you how to do it. I'm going to say yes because, I do want the ability to, if need be, have Preston Garvey as a follower. Just know that if you do work towards that relationship with Preston Garvey and eventually get to the point in the story where you can have him as your follower, there is no stopping him from telling you that there's another settlement that needs your help. That is going to be a consistent thing throughout the game, no matter if he's your follower or if he's just an NPC here at Sanctuary. The only real difference is that if he's your follower, it can happen literally at any time. And I mean at any time. Sometimes at the worst times, when you're in a firefight and there's forced dialogue. So do consider that when you have him as your ally. Is he a good ally to have and tag along with you? Yes. There are very few followers that I think are just absolutely terrible. One could say borderline Preston Garvey because of the sometimes forced dialogue, but it's not the end of the world, because typically, if you look at my peripheral right now, right here and here, you'll see actually that it's kind of blurred vision on the sides. That's an indicator that you are actually in dialogue with somebody, whether it be an NPC, dog meat, somebody. Often, actually, maybe not often, but a few times throughout this playthrough, you have seen me or heard me be confused because I did pick up on the fact that I was in a dialogue, and for some reason it didn't show me the dialogue on screen. So you'll at least know if Preston's trying to give you a forced dialogue, because you'll be able to pick up on that. So it's not the end of the world if he does force the dialogue. And he's a decent follower to have. The laser musket's awesome. He's pretty accurate with it, too.
Okay. I'll do it.
Good. Good. Welcome aboard. I feel like this is a whole new start.
Notice that Cosworth also liked that as well.
I'll be right beside you all the way.
I do think it's funny that it said Codsworth tolerates you. That's pretty funny, even though Codsworth has always tolerated us. So we just got promoted to General right off rip. So we're, of course, going to say quite the promotion. Actually, you know what? Let's not be sarcastic.
That's quite a promotion you just gave me.
The leader of the Minutemen has always held the rank of general. Our last leader was General Becker. After he died back in '82, nobody could agree on who should take his place. The one good thing about being the last Minuteman is there's no one to argue with me when I say you're the new general. Now it's your job to make it more than an empty title. I've got something a bit different for you. Our scouts have found a promising spot for a new settlement. The trouble is that some kind of vicious beasts are lairing there. Once you clear it out, set up a radio beacon to let settlers know about it. Before you know it, we'll have a thriving new farm instead of wasteland. We'll take back the Commonwealth, one piece at a time.
Starlight Drive-In. A lot of people like Starlight Drive-In. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I do understand the appeal, and once we go over there, you will understand why some people actually really enjoy it. I think we're going to end today's episode with that, though, and then in our next episode, we will go and take a look at Starlight Drive-In. We do have a level up point that we're going to apply first, though. We don't quite have the intelligence we need for that. We need 13 intelligence. We're going to go ahead and increase that so that we can work our way to the next rank of gun nut. This will give us access to more attachments for our weapons, like you just saw me in the weapons bench doing. And that is where we're going to end our next episode. Like I mentioned, we are going to stick to building in Fallout 4 and 76 to its own new series, so stay tuned for that when I actually do end up starting to build, when we have enough materials to do so. In Sanctuary is one of my favorites to build in, but when we end up actually building in Sanctuary, I will be sure to get footage of that. I will be sure to launch its own series so that you guys can see the building. Whether it be some parts are going to be time-lapse, some parts aren't going to be time-lapse. I'm dabbling here and there with editing, so let me know how you guys do enjoy the editing that I'm doing, or if you would like to see it done in a different way. Leave your comments and suggestions in the comments below. But until we get to our next episode, I hope you guys have a lovely evening. I hope you enjoyed tagging along with me as we took out some raiders to help out Tenpines Bluff, which is our first settlement. Or rather our second settlement, our first outside of Sanctuary Hills. And I will see you guys in our next episode.